this is Sasha.
Hey, I'm TableFork.
And I'm Kleine. Welcome to Painting Labo. This is another Speedpaint from TableFork.
We were quite curious about Fork's drawing process, so in this video, we'll do some Q&A while watching Fork's Speedpaint together.
Fork, can you give us some basic context for the painting?
Wait, this is a fan art that I did for Buraikan from Paradox Life. I mean, they're one of my favorite bands, and they just released a new song, so I wanted to have my own take on it.
We start with so many thumbnails. Wait, are you going to fill every single block?
Nah.
There are so many. What were you thinking while... how do you come up with all these thumbnails?
In the song's MV, there's actually a lot of themes like casino, gambling, poker cards, and stuff like the casino roulette. Then I searched for all of these elements online for inspiration. Actually, you can see that each thumbnail is based on emphasizing a certain point. Like this composition emphasizes the character and showing that they're really like cool badasses. And this composition is about the character showing casino chips or cards to the camera. This was also a scene inspired by the MV. Then there's also this scene from the MV as well, where the characters are portrayed as casino dealers and the other bands are looking at them, but I changed the camera angle a bit. So basically, after selecting an element, I like to change the camera angle or play with the proportion. And also sometimes I will go find more inspiration on Pinterest as well.
Oh, I see.
I will just laying them down as inspiration comes and places as I feel like it. But often, I might go back to develop another version of the same thumbnail as well. Then when I have tried out enough composition, I'll just pick one. Though sometimes I might jump into painting if I got really hyped for a certain thumbnail. And for this piece, I really liked the huge circle composition, so I chose this one. Anyways, it's also a 3 minutes MV, and like games and other stuff, we as illustrators can always find something interesting to emphasize them.
Wait, what is this? What is this?
I also want to know.
This is... It's like I feel like the two characters are just standing there would be a bit messy, so I wished that they're somewhat more visually connected. So I wanted to enhance this visual connection between them. For example, for the blonde, Yasha, his coat and his leg end on the same line, so it looks like they have some hidden silhouette that makes them more somewhat related.
So, did you already plan this when drawing thumbnails, or you just noticed it?
Not really. Just now.
Did you change anything for the grid?
I think I adjusted the drawing a bit, but not much. But the grid was thrown out of the window afterward though.
It looks like your composition is on the right track from the start.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I thought so. It looks like most of the work here was done from the beginning. So here's our lining.
Yeah, but actually the line were all painted over afterward though.
Don't you do that creating a clipped color layer on top of the line art layer?
Nah, just paint on top of it.
That's a lot of work because I think it's really hard to redraw the same line. Usually it would result in drawing multiple lines, which means extra work.
I know, right? I was actually thinking of how I can just readjust my workflow a bit. Personally, I sometimes don't think that doing the line art is gonna speed up my process though.
That's because you redrew the lines, right?
Yeah, probably I should just use a looser line art, but I don't know, like I'm still trying out.
This looks great already.
From a distance. You know, man, for Yasha, I actually completely redrew his entire face. The finished face is completely different from the line.
Oh, really? So you turn off the line art layer or...
I merged them all.
Wow, really?
You can see it later, like it was merged together with the color layer.
Ah.
I noticed you were quite confident while you're doing the color. Did you plan everything ahead, especially the colors, before you start?
The color that I just put in was the base color, so it's the color of the object itself. This one you can just paint according to the character design.
Wait, I see you are creating a lot of layers. What's going on? What's going on?
Then you see the lighting is only added afterwards.
Wow, this is fast. Overall lighting is done already now? Wait. What are all these white layers for? What did you add? I can't see it.
I added nothing. I did this because in Clip Studio Paint, if you create a new layer, it will be automatically clipped to the layer below. The computer is gonna be like, since the above layer is clipped anyway, then this new layer is probably gonna be clipped to the layer below as well, right?
Okay.
All this for pressing one less button though.
Oh.
Here I added the base color according to the character design, then added the lighting as well. Actually, for this drawing I didn't test out too many lighting options though. At first I planned to have a top light, but somehow it got turned into a light from the side though. Oops.
Well, even it's from the right side, but it's still top right, right?
Close enough?
Wow, we already passed the halfway mark.
I'm just working on the details now. Cause I line pretty slow, I guess.
Slow?
What do you mean by you line pretty slow?
Cause I think for other render artists, if you compare the lining speed to the entire process, usually it takes around like 10 to 20% of their time. But I think I used it more than that.
So, you mean usually people spend a lot of time on details?
I think it depends. Actually, because everyone have different render styles, so their time would be different as well. Also, it kind of depends on how skilled and accurate the artist is. I would probably consider myself to be one of the slower ones, but probably not the slowest.
Wow, what happened to his hair? It gained a lot of texture all of a sudden.
Oh, I combined the line with the hair layer. The hair is actually drawn in 3 different blocks. There's the fringe, which is inside the shadow. There's the block where light passes through, and the block where light hits. Then I added some more other blocks within the fringe so it will look more detailed. Then these blocks are mixed together to make it translate a bit smoother. But not in a one-to-one translation. More like this. Something like this.
Oh.
So it's more natural. Then just adding more details in the fringe so it looks less like an entire blur. You can see that I actually added really light colors near the top of the head as well.
The color you're using here looks awesome. So this is where the details come from, right?
Yep. And for coloring, like I was actually painting the entire painting like how I would paint it metal, because Yasha has a lot of gold on him. And their band theme also has this luxurious gold feel for them. So for picking colors, the lightest part will be yellowish, and the line between the light and shadow would be orange or reddish. Then the shadow would be more low saturated, like greenish. So it will give this metal like the metal feel.
I have a question. So, did you plan all the mood and environmental light from the beginning?
Nah, just when I was adding the color.
Okay.
I didn't really thought of it this time in the thumbnail, so I decided the entire lighting scenario when I added the color. The direction of this piece is actually the duo challenging the audience, so there's some kind of power difference between the audience and the duo. Because from the story, the characters were actually the organizer of the main event. They were like the band that won the event years ago. So they're like the legends, like the top of the food chain, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's why the camera is from below.
Yeah, we're looking up.
Yeah, so it looks like they're looking down to the audience. Also it creates this distance, like there's some kind of unreachable VIP. But man, like this sort of yellow and black color scheme, I really have to be more careful about it next time. Using too much black can always make the drawing too dark. If you guys are enjoying our content so far, don't forget to like and subscribe.
We are a new channel.
And it will mean a lot to us.
Then move on to the person on the right, Shura.
It's so fast.
Cause it's speeded up.
True.
And to be honest, I spent a lot of time just procrastinating on adding the details. I mean, like this was recorded right before I planned to upload the drawing. I was like, oh no, I have to upload tonight, and like I was screaming when I painted this. Then I really couldn't care less at this point. I mean, like, let me just add a light and a shadow. If it doesn't look right, I would just airbrush and wing it.
I have a question. Is there things that you keep track on from time to time?
Usually the value structure. From time to time, you can see that I actually turned the drawing to black and white so that I can check if there's anything that doesn't really obey like physical rules. Like, is the shadow that is lighter than the midtone? Or sometimes I can use it to confirm that I'm still painting within the value range of the object, so a particular shade won't stand out too much overall. Additionally to the value structure, I like to check the perspective as well. But I usually check the perspective when I lined it, so when I line, I like to focus more on perspective and composition. But when I paint, I will focus more on the value structure. But man, I only have 2 brain cells, and one is already for simming for anime boys, and my brain can't handle that much at the same time.
I'm sure you have more than 2 brain cells.
But well, anime boys live rent-free inside my head, so the additional brain cells are all for them.
What?
Oh man, here I got bored of rendering all the details, so I moved on to the background.
I mean, you need to change the channel sometimes, right?
I know, right? You know, like the background's perspective is actually a bit off.
But it's not that important, right? Since it's just the background.
Sort of, but actually I purposely made it wrong so that the blocks on the left would be larger than the blocks on the right.
Ah.
Like if the blocks are of the same size, our eyes will move across the drawing, right? But if the one on the left is the largest, then the one in the middle is middle in size, and the one on the right is smallest, there's some kind of big mid-small pattern across the drawing. Then our eyes will naturally move from one side to another. Then adding all sort of tattoo and stuff. Ooh.
Ah.
Then the numbers.
I like the numbers lighting.
Yeah, and the reflection texture. I think it's pretty hard to draw. I don't know how to create that kind of feeling, but here I think you did really well.
Oh, actually, for reflective objects. Okay, so you see like this is like a block of glass, right? Like mahjong. Then you add a few light ray on top of it. Then the light ray can be like multiple colors as well. For example, here's a light ray, right? And this is the egg yolk of the light ray, so it's gonna be yellow. Then the outer part is gonna be white, right?
Okay, it went so fast, I couldn't catch it.
I think I sprayed it once here and then I sprayed it again.
Ah. Did you just did a gradient from the top right? Was it like light, white light?
I can't remember. I think I was just messing around.
It's too fast.
Ta-da! It's completed. This is the final piece. Is there any more questions?
Wait, what happened? It looks different all of a sudden.
Because I added some foreground to enhance the composition.
Composition is still magic to me.
Oh yeah, since Asha is interested in composition, might as well expand on this as well. The composition I had in mind was actually like a spiral that looks like this. So the chips are there to add more spiral like this.
Ooh, how did you learn all these about composition?
I think the best way to learn composition is to look at more drawings and analyze them more thoroughly. Personally, I really like compositions like this, like a straight line from one side, and it naturally curves around the corner.
Okay, I need some time to digest all the information I got today.
And me as well.
Okay. So I guess that's all for today. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe.
And if there's anything you would like to see in the future, leave us a comment below.
And if you have any questions, also let us know in the comment section.
We'll see you
next
See you next time.